Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Don over Don's Tattoos Garage. I've got my entry video into the group build that Shaggy and I are hosting. The one that got away, group build 26. Anyway, hang on a second. We'll take a look at the kit I'm going to be building, and then we'll have a tattoo story today. So hang in there. All right, welcome back to the bench. This is what I'm building for our group build that Shaggy and I are hosting. Again, it's the one that got away, group build 26. What I'd like to just reiterate for everybody is this is going to be something that you owned at one time, sold, and later regretted, something you had a chance to buy and didn't for whatever reason, and also just something that you really wanted, never had for whatever reason, just the one that got away. So that's the premise behind it, and I'm going to build this 70 Monte Carlo. I owned a 70 Monte Carlo, but I used it as parts for a 72 I had, and I always wanted to build the 70 because I didn't use very many parts because I realized that the front end and everything was completely different as far as the length of the fenders, what have you. So it was just enough to not want to mess with it. I thought about changing the doors to my 72 because they had power windows in the 70, but I decided against it. Ended up selling both cars, and wow, I should have kept that 70 and built it. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. It's not going to be a lowrider. No disrespect to the lowriding community. It's just I wasn't going to build a lowrider. I was going to build a little hot rod out of it. Like I said, never got around to it, so that's what I'm going to do. I know I've talked about the 74 Duster I wanted. Didn't buy a 66 Chevy 2, little Nova Chevy 2 that I had a chance. It was an SS 327 4-speed car, all original, except for the paint. Man, I wanted that car, but I was only 17. Dad wouldn't sign for it because it had a blown head gasket. My dad was not a mechanic by any stretch of the imagination, and I couldn't talk him into letting me get it and take it to a shop class in high school to fix the blown head gasket. But you know, what happened is what happened. It's okay. Anyway, this is what I'm building, this 70 Monte Carlo Low Rider. Not doing an unboxing today. You know, like I said, I'm not building a low rider, but that's just the kit. I'm not going to unbox it today. I've got some other stuff I need to get done, but I wanted to get this out there since the group build started yesterday. It goes until December 31st of this year, so you got the rest of this year to build it, to build a model. If you want to get in on it, please do. I'll put the hashtag right here. Put that hashtag in your title and description, it doesn't matter, and we'll see it out there, and have fun with this one. No other rules other than something you wish you would have had. All right, guys. Everybody have a great day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, you know, all that good stuff. If you do subscribe, I thank you very much. Still over that 500 mark. So if that lasts until Monday, I will be dropping a video Monday announcing a G thing. So other than that, everybody, have a great weekend. Have a great holiday weekend. It's July 4th, 250 years this great country's been here. And I just wanted to say to everybody, have a happy 4th. Come back with all your fingers. And remember to just get out there and have fun. Get some bench time in and build something. All right, everybody. Stay tuned for that tattoo story, and we'll get you out of here. All right, let's get into this tattoo story. I don't know how many people out there that are watching this that have ever gotten tattooed, but when I tattooed, man, people would open up. It was almost like I was a priest, and I heard things I didn't want to hear, heard things that made me laugh, heard things that were cool, all kinds of stuff. One of the stories that really stood out was a guy was getting tattooed on, and he grew up in Michigan, and we were talking, you know, being from the Midwest myself, up near Chicago. You know, we were discussing stuff. I'd been to Michigan a few times as a kid visiting, and had some really good times when my grandparents lived over near Ann Arbor. Anyway, he was talking about when they were probably, I think he said he was in his early 20s, they would go out to this farm and would hang out near the fence line along a road and listen to Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band practicing in a barn on a farm that the Seeger family owned, which was very, very cool to hear those stories. And I think what brought that on was the fact that I was probably listening to Bob Seger as I was tattooing. But anyway, like I said, heard all kinds of things. I told you already a story about covering up names and my buddy and his wife. And like I said, tattooing, I heard lots of stuff. People talk about how great it felt. People talked about they were getting it because they were pissed off and they wanted to mellow out through the pain, you know. Just all kinds of weird stuff like that. But anyway, that's my tattoo story this week. Thanks again for watching. And as always, God bless.